Just to give a cross section of where I'm going to be trout fishing and doing all my cooking and things like that. And so everybody kind of understands, I guess, because there might be some people that are outside of this region that might not get where I'm going. There might be some people in this region that don't understand where I'm going. So here's the deal. 178. Now that's a road that is it's a state highway that takes you kind of winding through the mountains and it takes you into North Carolina. Um, Obviously, I'm gonna be within South Carolina today, barely, but I will be. I'm gonna come in through Highway 11, and I'm gonna snake in. There's under this, which is not that important because it's just the drive. I'm gonna be taking a right here on 178, which the junction is down here near this contents table. Um, anyway, I'm going to be driving basically right here where this you see this junction here. This is the Foothills Trail, which is a footpath that does not always follow water because I've done a through hike on it. It's 80 miles. This is a right here is a kind of four-way junction that you can also hit this parking lot here, which is a nice parking area where I can take this trail, and it's dotted because it's a spur trail. It doesn't through hike to anyone. You're supposed to turn around. I will not be turning around today. I will be headed down into this gorge itself. And it looks super dangerous on a map. It is not. There's some access trails that get you down there. This map needs to be updated. But it's not as dangerous as it looks. It's also not as safe as I make it to sound. So, but an awesome trail. Some cool things to look at. This is superimposed because this is the North Carolina border. Later on, for a later date, I'd be in this area here because I'm trying to learn Western North Carolina, which is like my frontier. I know that sounds lame. It's still a million and some change acres of national forest land, and it stretches from basically almost uninterrupted from the South Carolina border into Tennessee, into the Smokies. So that's something I would love to learn. But that has to do. But the most thing that stops me from learning a lot about it is because the first time I learned about these areas, I hunted these areas, and you get very intimate with the landscape that you're in when you're there. But also, you get really intimate with the laws that are in the state you're in. And when it comes to game laws, if you cross into any state, things might be different. And even the slightest thing that you do out of bounds might be weird. Also, it's just kind of like linear distance is far through a lot of nothing. And I just haven't scouted it enough, but I'll get some time and I'll do it eventually. But the farthest I've been into here is I've been in the Gorgeous State Park with my through hike through the Foothills Trail because it goes into it a little bit. And then out of place, I've actually been deep in, this is the Shining Rock Wilderness, and that's the Art Loeb Trail, and a place called Black Balsam Knob, which I love, and it is over 6,000 feet, higher than Denver in North Carolina. So I talk too much, and I'm too verbose, so I guess I'll start getting the fishing, and I'll start driving there. We're on our way here. The roads are long. There's a couple people out here. Beautiful day though, perfect day. And almost 20 degrees cooler than the valleys. Amazing. Mid-90s today in the lowlands. Little, kind of like this is their bodega type of thing. And then after that, we start going up and up and up and up. It's fun though. So coming up immediately in the distance here is Table Rock, the mountain. It's called Table Rock Mountain, which to the Cherokee and to even the people that came before them, which I believe they call them archaic natives, which is before the Western understanding of the civilizations that were here. It was deemed as a sacred place. Almost, I believe the Cherokee believed it was the throne room of the gods, which, if we get a good view of it, you'd understand why. I think I'll get a good view of it very soon here. I'm trying to keep the history of what they used to refer here as the Dark Corner. And they used to call it the Dark Corner because even into the early part of the 20th century, it was really almost frontiers-like, because it was a place that was almost still not uncontacted, because armies had marched through here. The Trail of Tears began here. So there were events that started here, but as far as it goes, oh, we're coming on Table Rock. Forget that thought. Don't want to take away from the view. So Table Rock is going to be on my right, and it is gorgeous. Almost doesn't look real, like I'm driving next to it, like it belongs on a calendar. I mean, how privileged am I that I get to be here just to see all this? As I reiterated in my last map video, we're here, and this is the new trail that they're building to allow easier access into the Eastatoy watershed, which I guess is a good thing, and it can also be a damning thing. But we're gonna get in here, we're gonna go fishing. Got everything I need on my back. Let's rock. Can't beat this trail-wise. I mean, shaded, almost 100-degree day down in the valley. There's gonna be our stream right there. We are entering the gorge. Beautiful day, man. Beautiful day. Lots of ferns grow here, because the interesting thing about this area is this is considered a temperate rainforest. These ecosystems here are holdovers from the retreating glaciers of the Ice Age, which of course we are still part of one, but this is the this part of the upswing. So this reflects a lot of northeastern forests that are hundreds or even thousands of miles to the north. And this, we're in the gorge. My little piece of Eden. Somebody built a swing here. That's cute. This is going to be our pool we're going to be working with right here. I found my beach. So I'm just setting up everything. I'm going to pull out and show you what I'm using. So I have an ugly stick rod, and they're known for their dexterity. They bend without breaking. Pretty cool. Alright, we're going to get our bait out, which is unorthodox. Our bait is going to serve as our obvious fishing bait and our garnish for our dish. Sorry. It's going to be whole corn. I'm going to use it in our special dish that I'm making out here, because it's a shout out to the species I'm going to be targeting today. So let's get linked up. So this current isn't flowing that fast. There hasn't been much rain on their standards here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch hooks, because this is for bass. Way too big. These fish in here, trout, are a lot different than bass. I wouldn't say they're smarter, but they're a little bit more aware. Oh, that's okay. sure if I'm in range here of the camera. This is just a test run for you Chris Daniels. People that want to see what I do kind of out here on the trail on lazy days. It's not hunting season, so if this goes well, you'll get a lot of videos come fall time. Well, in South Carolina, possibly August, because of how our hunting seasons work here. But up here in the mountains, the hunting I like to do, maybe not till October-ish. There's something special about this place, you know. It's a holdover. Now, I was thinking like today, earlier while I was cutting the lawn, like how everybody calls this out here like the quintessential American experience. Out here catching your food. But honestly, I'm from Africa. This rod is from China. This reel is from Korea. This book bag is from China, from Walmart. These fish that I'm fishing for are not native to North America. That's right, trout fishermen. Brown trout, rainbows. They are new to the North American market. So right now I'm just bringing the water. Maybe I should tie on the weight. So, after that, the next thing you'll see is hopefully a fish, and then some cooking. Still no luck with the fish, but I'm inside Eastatoe Canyon and couldn't be more gorgeous. I mean, steep walls on either side. Up, dark. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful freaking day though. But I guess sometimes you do get skunked on the stream. Happens from time to time, man. But I'm gonna keep going on, because it's all about patience, and I'm just gonna relocate. Missed a fish right in this pool right there. If you read the ebb and flow of this water here, it's deep, but it flows fast. Now on the top it's flowing fast, but on the bottom it's almost like a near nothing. Even flows in the other direction. Whoa. That's another thing here. Everything's always shifting and moving. There's a breeze out, and a lot of these trees are half dead. And a lot of them come down. I've been out here a couple times when they've fallen down, and it sounds like a bombing. It's insane. Alright. Forward we go. How much of an ideal campsite is that? Jeez. Especially back there, that alcove. Ooh, you could actually get right near the waterfall. Yeah. That's nice. Noted. It appears I have friends here with me today. They are loving in the sun over here. That doesn't even seem real. Right there. Yep, right there. I was having a bad time. I stopped here, which is right near the road, and things worked out. So we got ourselves two beautiful examples of what it looks like to be small brown trout, speckled, and we're gonna cook these up. Let's do it. So the first thing I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna remove this head. I don't need this. Comes off, just pop it off. Back in the stream, it's biodegradable. We're gonna get our fire going. So just to keep our fish clean, I'm going to put them in my net, stash them in the room. So we got those guys in the water, and now we're going to get our pot out. I'm going to get us some water, and I'm going to try to pick it from somewhere that's fast flowing. But we're going to boil it anyway, so it'll be okay. This is some nice smooth sailing water here. Looking pretty clean too. So let's get it to a boil. So as you can see, we're going to utilize our corn. That was our bait. There's our fire, our pot with our water, and this thing right here. So behind me is from Myanmar. That's Burma. Man, and they say minorities aren't in the woods. Fuck y'all. We out here. My man we just had a discussion about how Burma is a beautiful country and the government there is squandering it. Welcome to our beautiful country that is being squandered.
Not too deep, water.
Like right where you are, the water is probably... See, you can see him out there. See him out there? Yeah. Coming out of the woods after a great meal and even better company, especially company you don't expect, like someone from Southeast Asia. Oop, got bugs following me. From Southeast Asia, out here, fishing another quote-unquote invasive species. What a day. Now I'm just back on the road, on my way back to beautiful civilization. You know, one thing that I love about being out there is that you never know the people you're going to meet. And his name was Robin, I guess. It is Robin from Myanmar. And which is wild that I met him in Mountain Rest, South Carolina, out in a wilderness area fishing for trout, doing the same thing I am. And I read an article not too long ago about how hunting and outdoor recreation in America is not very diverse. I do believe that statistic-wise, but a lot of the time when I'm out here, I get surprised every time. So maybe And that's probably purely anecdotal, but that was a good, cool thing to see. Other than that, the dish that I made was amazing. I mean, I had a headache on the way here, and I thought it was because I was dehydrated. And I kept drinking water, and that wasn't it. So then I sat down, and I actually started cooking and preparing this meal, still with a pounding headache. And when it finally got done and I started eating it, by the time I was done, no headache. So, guess I was hungry. Anyway, I usually bring a book there just because I like to read while I'm streamside. And I was reading a myopic view, I guess, of the Second World War. And I like to read books about war in places of peace, and this is one of them, because it kind of gives you a perspective when everything's quiet and the words kind of come through without being clouded by the ambient noise of whatever you say, or you have you hear siren, whatever, the temptation to turn on the TV or hit the Wi-Fi, hit the Wi-Fi, sound like an old man, but you know what I mean, just various internets. But anyway, that was kind of just a day trip of me going in and kind of just giving the scout out. I love those mountains, man. I love those mountains. That place where I caught those 2 fish was the first place that Amelia caught her first trout. So that place is also special to me. So, a lot of cool things that happened today, just on a regular day. But, here we go, back home.